Good morning, Real Life Church family. This is Pastor Dan. And last weekend we talked about time. And for most of us, time is something that we watch and control by the seconds, by the minutes, by the hours. Whether it's on our watch or by the days, the weeks, and the months, if we're talking about our calendar. And yet there are other ways to tell time. Think about it. A farmer knows when it's time to plant and also when it's time to harvest. But there are signs that tell him when things are ripe or ripe to do the things that he needs to do. When he plants, he knows that as he watches the crops, he will also know, not necessarily by a watch or even by a day, but he'll see the growth in the crop and know when it's time for harvest. I remember my dad grew up in a farm community, and they had a saying that the corn needed to be knee-high by the 4th of July. In other words, there was an expectation by a certain date, the holiday, that the corn would be at least as tall as someone's knee. And yet, as it grew and as the harvest came, they would also be able to look at the corn and know when it was time to be taken as a harvest. You know, so many times we're looking at the seasons in our life, and we can't measure what we're going through necessarily by a clock, except we wish that we were over or that season would pass. And yet, when we observe that season and that time, we can see what God is doing, but we have to have the eyes to see it. So many times we're looking at all the things that are wrong with our life and we miss what God is doing. Or we look at all the resistance that we're facing instead of what it's accomplishing for us. Would you join us this week as we recapture our sight and see the hand of God on our life and know that He is preparing us, because we are leaders. We are the salt of the earth. We are the light of the world, and we are able to lead people into the next season in their life if we are even aware of what God's doing in ours. This is a time of preparation. Would you come with us this weekend and join us as we prepare for God's next season at Real Life Church? God bless you.